Poland is an awe-inspiring country. It's a place that preserves its past like few nations have, while not being afraid to explore urban improvement when it must. Old towns show their age willingly through architecture that guides you from medieval times through the Renaissance until now. Heavily damaged during World War II has necessitated a switch to modern designs. But where possible, enormous amounts of work have been put in place to turn the clock back the other way. In this video, we explore the best tourist attractions in Poland. We've collected a list of the top tourist attractions in Poland, so make sure to include them in your list if you're a visitor. At first in the list, number 1, Krakow Main Market Square. Often overshadowed by Warsaw, Krakow has some of the best medieval architecture in Europe. You can see the best of it at the Main Market Square, the largest medieval square on the continent. Luckily, it managed to survive any damage in the Second World War. As you sit in one of the regal cafes, you can admire much of the 13th century architecture that remains. This is complemented by crowds of locals creating a fantastic atmosphere. Halls and townhouses take you on a journey back in time. However, the true start is the Cloth Hall. This is where the square gets its name. Number 2, Wieliczka Salt Mine. One of the highlights of your Polish experience will no doubt be the Wieliczka Salt Mine. It began life in the 1200s, and remarkably continued until 2007. It's otherwise known as the Underground Salt Cathedral of Poland, a name that paints a marvelous and accurate picture. You can visit the salt mine from Krakow, where you can explore seemingly endless subterranean passageways, discovering the rich history of salt mining as you go. While there may be some 300 kilometers of paths, 4 locations are guaranteed to stop you in your tracks. Number 3, Malbork Castle. You'll always remember the first time you see the city of Malbork. It's a place that makes an immediate impression purely because of the enormous red roofs of the Malbork Castle. These cover what remains the largest brick castle in the world. It was here at the start of the 15th century that the Crusaders, known as the Teutonic Knights, made themselves at home. The castle began life as a fortress, protecting what was the prominent military and religious center of Poland. Number 4, Bialowieza Forest, on Poland's east coast, is one of the last stretches of primeval forest in Europe. The UNESCO-protected Bialowieza Forest boasts some of the best natural landscapes in the country. Its remote location takes you far away from even local towns. While much of the forest is found in neighboring Belarus, the Polish section is the easiest to explore. It's here that you'll find the largest herd of wild bison in Europe. They take advantage of the rich biodiversity here, something you too can discover along one of the many hiking trails. Number 5, Slowinski Sand Dunes. In Slowinski National Park, the Slowinski Sand Dunes are some of the most spectacular sights in Poland. Along the coast of the Baltic Sea, these sand dunes caress the edge of the Baltic Sea. You can explore on foot or bicycle, although the most enjoyable way is jumping on one of the park's golf carts. The highlight of the national park is the famed moving sand dunes. These include the Laka and Cholpinska dunes that continue to shift thanks to the heavy winds that surge from the Baltic Sea. Such is the size of the dunes, they stretch into the distance. Number 6, Gdansk Old Town. With the nickname Pearl of the North, you'll be glad to hear that Gdansk lives up to its lofty reputation. It's a popular weekend getaway for the Polish and harbors some of the most picturesque streets in the country. The bulk of those exist within its renowned old town. You can easily spend several days getting to know this part of the city. It was founded in the 10th century and time spent under the rule of Teutonic Knights, Prussia, Germany, and finally Poland, has led to a rich conglomeration of architecture and culture. Number 7, Lake Morskie Oko. In the mountainous Tatra National Park lies the astounding beauty of Lake Morskie Oko. As you stand on the edge of the lake, the craggy mountains rise out of the valley, shifting from dense green to vast gray rock as the elevation increases. You can trace the scares of old and present glaciers alike. It's then all reflected onto the mirror-like lake to create an unforgettable sight. The Alpine Lake is the biggest in the Tatra Mountains, fed by glacial water and snowmelt. It's incredibly pristine. You can get here via a meandering hiking trail, one that goes beyond the lake to elevated views. Number 8, Masurian Lakeland. In northeast Poland, the Masurian Lakeland boasts over 2,000 lakes. These are strewn across a captivating landscape from Lower Vistula to the border of Russia. It's one of the most popular tourist attractions in Poland and one of Europe's most beautiful lake districts. The Masurian Lakeland was carved by enormous glaciers throughout the Pleistocene Ice Age. Today, the region is a mix of rugged and pristine landscapes where lateral moraines fall to spectacular lakes that were the base of these giant blocks of ice. Number 9, Wawel Royal Castle. In Krakow's Old Town, the Wawel Royal Castle is one of Poland's most revered landmarks. A symbol of pride, independence, and patriotism, the castle is the equivalent of the UK's Buckingham Palace. Remarkably, some of the old stone buildings here can be traced back to the 10th century. However, the castle was originally built in the 1300s. As it was expanded over the following centuries, you can discover a rich mix of Gothic, Romanesque, and Renaissance architecture. These are some of Poland's oldest examples. At last in the list, number 10, Warsaw Old Marketplace. There's something quietly memorable about the old marketplace in Warsaw. There are attractions that tell the history and culture of a city. But the old marketplace shows you. Ornately painted townhouses surround the square, locals gather and the sound of horse hooves floats around. Here, gorgeous Renaissance architecture and local culture meet, while simultaneously taking you back several centuries. Warsaw can be a bustling city, but here life slows almost to a halt. Charming cafes and restaurants provide the best seats in the house from which to take it all in. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite tourist attractions in Poland? Is there something we missed? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to Greenable if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.